Yahoo News Bytes, the Big Apple. Find out what makes Tech Ticker tick. An invention for inventors. And triathletes in training in the fight against cancer. In the world of investing, where do most people get their news? Well, the #1 online finance show, Tech Ticker, gets about 10 million streams a month. So we popped into NASDAQ to go behind the scenes of the show. Let's meet some of the people whose job it is to cut through the clutter and take Wall Street to the web.
So we'll start each day around 7:15. We all meet up in the green room. Aaron and Henry will put on their makeup, and we'll discuss, as they do that, we'll discuss, what are we going to talk about today, what news crossed overnight. It's all pretty quick turnaround. By 7:30, we're out on the set. We start recording, and by 8-ish, we're out the door.
I'm going to ask you to look straight ahead. I'll sort of be introducing you and segment, and then when I address the first question to you, you just look at me like that, and this camera will be on you, but you don't have to worry about looking into it or anything like that. I was a print journalist for about 20 years, and Yahoo came calling. It seemed like a great opportunity. I'll give it a shot. We're telling the story of the most important, or at least one of the most important things that's happening in the world, which is what happens to people's money and what's going on in the financial world. We're able to call upon the top people in the world, the experts in their field, and so I get to sit down with them and ask them questions for 20 minutes. We don't do sound bites. We do long-form interviews. 3, 2, 1. After careening lower yesterday morning, the stock market on the rise again today. And
Tech Ticker audience itself is bigger than all of Google Finance's audience, or we measure up pretty head-to-head with CNBC and other cable news outlets.
It's really gratifying, the kind of numbers that we're getting. I mean, we had 12 million streams in March, which was a record for us. Like today, I have no idea what we're going to be doing tomorrow, because Europe could come up with another $1 trillion bailout tomorrow, or there could be another cataclysm in the banking sector, or Obama could come up with some new program to rescue the housing market. So it's finance, it's politics, it's everything. It's always moving. There's always something new. From the Executive Office building in Washington, D.C., it's my privilege now to be joined by the Vice President of the United States, Joe Biden. Mr. Vice President, thank you very much for taking the time.
Great to be with you.
So highlight, obviously, interviewed Joe Biden, sitting Vice President of the United States. That was pretty much a thrill for me, and I think Peter and Jonathan, our cameraman, just to be there and meet him. And he was very gracious and very generous, and he's such a politician. After we were done with the interview, he was chatting with the three of us and put his arm around Peter's shoulder and sort of gave me a little, hit on the arm. I love the smell of profits in the morning. It basically says, hey, well, in this case, fast forward a couple of years, we just got napalmed like they did in Apocalypse Now, but there's going to be some profits out there, and we're going to try to help you find them.
Ever get an idea for an invention? You've got it all drawn up in your head, but you're sort of stuck at the starting line? Well, getting out of the gate often means figuring out how to manufacture that very first prototype. But how do you do that without having your own factory? Well, now you can have your own right at home thanks to Brooklyn inventor BRE Pettis.
So welcome to the Bot Cave. This is where the magic happens. This is where we put all the kits together and ship them off to all the MakerBot operators in the world. I've always been obsessed with tinkering. When I grew up, I liked the 700 section in the library. And basically, that's the section where you can read all about how to make things and how things work. One of the things that goes through my whole life is I'm dedicated to supporting the creativity in others. So, when I was a school teacher, I was an art teacher. I taught kids how to make things. When I was a puppeteer, same thing. And now with MakerBot, MakerBot is the ultimate tool to support people who are creative, because it's a machine that can make almost anything. The way it works is it takes plastic, this is ABS plastic, which is the same thing Lego's made out of, and it brings it into the machine and heats it up. And this moves back and forward and back, and it builds it up layer by layer. It draws a picture in molten plastic, and then goes up a little bit and draws it again, until layer by layer, it's built up a 3D object for it. So our machine is accurate to 80 microns in the XY field. One of the exciting things about a MakerBot is that it's really cutting-edge technology. I mean, this stuff has not been accessible ever to the ordinary person. And you put it together with the same kind of tools you use to make IKEA furniture. Up till now, 3D printing has been something that's been a mainframe industry, and it's been focused on prototypers and manufacturing and that kind of thing. And it's been out of the reach of the ordinary person. And the MakerBot is 950 bucks. So, you know, it's cheaper than most laptops. It's a little factory for your desktop. Usually these things are far away and inaccessible, and now you have a tool that can just do whatever you want. And so the ultimate for me is when young people use these things, because see that it's really possible to just imagine things and make them become real. That gets really exciting. And every day there's new things. Yesterday I woke up and there was an Escher cookie cutter. Now this is something I would never have imagined could exist. And I might have wanted it, but I didn't know. So yesterday I saw this, and then I printed it out a few minutes later, and you know, how cool is that? I mean, it's a cookie cutter that doesn't waste, if you do it right, it won't waste any cookie dough. At TechCrunch Disrupt, we brought the MakerBots out, we had them running. You know, it's just really cool to bring MakerBots out into the world, because people look at it and they just have no idea what it is. You know, they're like, what is that? Is it a teleporter, a time travel machine? And you're like, it's a 3D printer, it can make almost anything. You can just see their head just blow up as they're, you know, because as soon as you realize like you have a machine that can make almost anything, the possibilities start just, you know, the gears start turning, and it's just really fun to share out in the world. MakerBot has this awesome community. The people who have MakerBots are sharing. Because we're open source and we share everything, the people who get MakerBots are really open about the designs that they make, the improvements they make. They share their photos on Flickr. There's a MakerBot Flickr group. You know, when you get a MakerBot, you're not just this lone person with a machine in your closet. You're part of a group of the most smartest, cleverest, creative people in the world right now.
Take a 1,500-meter swim, 40K bike ride, 10K run, and you get one of the world's toughest sports, the triathlon. For many of these yahoos, it'll be their first time ever. But of course, as tough as that might be, it's not nearly as tough as battling cancer. We caught up with a group of yahoos training for the New York City Triathlon, all in a race to raise money for cancer research.
All right, so we're in Central Park, a team of about 45 yahoos, right, to do the New York City Triathlon. 500 people are with us all here, and we have 45 of that 500, which is the largest corporate team that they've ever had doing this event. So there are a lot of first-timers. It's an amazing organization that's training us all to do this. And as a group, we're raising money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. A little over $100,000 at current point, but we're gonna hit $150,000, you know, that's gonna all go to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, so we're very excited about that. When I was 12 years old, my mother was diagnosed with cancer. She passed away from leukemia, and my father was able to come to a lot of these events with me. Last year, he also passed away of cancer. To get all of Yahoo together to support something so near and dear to my heart, it's overwhelming, and it makes me really proud to be a Yahoo.
Kathy is here from the Yahoo team. Yes?
Moment. Okay, so I'm Catherine. I'm here with my 45 Yahoo teammates. So why are we doing this triathlon? Why is this important? For me, 5 years ago, my dad was diagnosed with multiple myeloma. It's known as one of the more vicious blood cancers, and he wasn't given very long. And if it weren't for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, he wouldn't be here. My dad, my hero, wouldn't be here. But my dad's ultimate goal is to be here on event day, and that's what's making him get up and walk and get to the clinic every day, and that's, so hopefully you all get to meet him. When I'm running and I want to quit and I absolutely hate it, I think this is my way of being with my dad. Although I can't be with him in Houston, this is my way I'm with him. And I look around and I see all of you, and what you guys doing are why my dad is here. And you're giving lives to so many people, and never forget that. So thank you all, and keep it up!
That's it for this week's Fantasy baseball. It's not just for the boys anymore. We'll meet some fans who've started a league of their own.